Hello, this is Richard Jacobs from Speakeasy Marketing. Today I want to talk about systematizing and automating your law practice so you don't run around from pillar to post, from courtroom to office, from client to client like a chicken without a head, with no time to breathe, no time to think, no time to grow your firm. And if you think this is not you, you'd be surprised to know how many attorneys are like this. I've had comments where attorneys tell me, I'm so busy I can't even set an appointment, or I'm so busy I can't breathe, or I'm just really busy right now. All these statements indicate that you're out of control in your practice. Even the attorneys that do have time to work on their cases still could automate and run their practices so it runs a lot more smoothly and they don't have nearly as many fires to put out. So I've been doing this a lot with my own business and Speakeasy Marketing, and it's having a tremendous effect, a tremendously beneficial effect. I'm going to go over briefly all the things that we do. You as a small law firm owner, some or all of these things may apply to you or they may not, especially if you're a solo, but you'd be well advised to implement as many of them as you can in your business. So for each process in my business, in marketing, we have a series of 5 or 6 elements that go along with it. So here's what they are. First is we made a procedure for each thing that we do. So let's say we're going to make a YouTube video. We have a procedure of steps on how to do that. So we've written that out, and we've given it to the person that actually does that work for us and made sure that it all makes sense. So they have a step-by-step procedure on how to make a video each time they do it. Now you think, well, if the person's good at what they do and they've done it 100 times, they should know this without thinking. Yes, that's right. But what the procedure does, it's actually a procedure and a checklist, or a procedure and several checklists added to it. What this documentation does is it frees the person's mind up. So when they work on making a video, they can do it, look at the checklist, look at the procedures, and make sure it's done right and that they haven't missed anything, and they can focus their mind on making a really good video, or an impactful one, or a creative one, or one that suits a particular purpose. They have time to think because the automatic stuff, just like your breathing and your heart, you don't have to think about, they work for you in the background. That's what procedures and checklists have done for us, and that's what they will do for you in your law firm. Let me give an example. So let's say you're a divorce attorney, okay? I know each case is different, but I guarantee you 70, maybe even 80% of each case has to utilize the same forms to file the divorce in court or to make disclosures or whatever it is. So this is the heart or the part of the process in divorce, for instance, that can be automated. If you know these 7 forms come up in every single case, or in 80% of the cases, well, document them and get them set so that your admin or someone else can do them for you. And you just have to fill in the information, or maybe not even that. Maybe they just do the entire thing for you. You say, hey, Mary, we got a new case, John Smith. Make sure we do the initial 7 forms for him. Thanks. Here's his info. You can automate your law practice this way, and that's for divorce, that's for real estate, DUI, auto accidents, everything. Again, I know every case is different, but if you look at them, most cases are pretty similar. Again, 70 to 80% similar. The reason why I could say that is because otherwise you couldn't practice law. If every case was wildly different, then there's no way you would know what to do with it. It would strain your brain to the max. There would be no precedent in court. There would be no knowing on how judges rule. There would be none of that stuff on how the case is going to go. I hear it from all the attorneys I speak to. I've got a pretty good handle on what's going to happen, or what probably will happen when I talk to a client right on the phone. Well, how do you know that? Because you've been through it and it's similar so many times in the past. So for each area of your law practice, for each practice area at least, set up a procedure, set up 1 or more checklists so that as much of that work can be automated and handled for you. And this will really free you up to go after new business, to think about your strategy, where you're going, what you're doing, etc. Now here's more. Besides procedures and checklists, we've also developed what's called a scorecard. Now this is a list of items that our employees have to do that will tell them whether they're doing a good job or not. So here's an example. Let's say we have someone that's searching for emails to build a list of attorneys to communicate to. Their goal, one of their goals in their scorecard is to find 100 emails a day. That's one of their goals. So they know if they meet that goal and they report that goal to us on their scorecard, that they can go home knowing they did a good job. If they don't meet the goal, we see it and we talk to them about it and say, hey, what happened? Were you sick today? Was the computer not working or the internet? We have our finger on the pulse of what's going on. And you'd think that people would feel like Big Brother's watching them with scorecards, but actually they feel empowered because a lot of employees, what they want to do is they want to come in, work their 9 to 5, and go home and not worry that they've done a good job or not. They want to. Imagine if they can go home knowing that they fulfilled all the expectations, and they did a good job, and their job is secure. That'd be a great feeling for them, and they could focus on the rest of their life. And that's what scorecards have done for our employees, and it's just a tremendous help. I encourage you to do the same with your firm, even if it's just you and one other person, just you and your admin, let's say. So scorecards are a part of the process. We've got procedures, checklists, and scorecards. Now we come to dashboards. So for all the processes that we do in the company, we have dashboards, and we have metrics. Let's say we do a lot of transcription, which we do of phone interviews that we do with attorneys. So our goal is to transcribe 7,000 words of text a day, which is like an hour interview. Let's say that's our goal. So our transcribers have that on their scorecard, but we have a dashboard that tells us, okay, based on the number of transcripts we have, it should take an average of 3 days for any given transcript to get out of transcription. Then it goes to editing, and that should take an average of 4 days. Then it goes to final review. That should be an average of 2 days. So we set up a dashboard with those time metrics, and we code it. So let's say step 1 is 3 days, that's green. If it goes anywhere from 4 to 6 days, now it's yellow. That means it's slower and there's a problem. If it goes beyond 6 days, it turns red. That means there's a big problem with that part of the process. So we set up dashboards for each area of the company, and now we can look with a quick glance, because the dashboards are updated by the employees and the managers. We can look and see the entire company and see if there's anything yellow or red, any hot spots, any problems. And we can zoom in and diagnose quickly what's going on. So again, even if it's you and one other person, or even if it's just you, and you put all the data in for your firm and you're the only one that looks at that dashboard, it'll help you tremendously to get a quick feel on what's going on. How many new cases, how many new calls, what practice areas, how many new forms filled out, how many advertisements sent out, how much this, how much that, what's the cash flow. Dashboards are tremendously important. So far we got procedures, checklists, scorecards, and dashboards. And the final element that we've seen to be incredibly helpful is what's called cost accounting. How much does it cost for us to perform each major action we do in the company? So for you as an attorney, let's say you do, criminal defense, okay? So how much does it cost you to represent a client? And I know, again, depending on the case, it's different. But there's stages to the criminal process, for instance, just like stages to divorce or auto accidents, that you can quantify. Okay, it costs me on average $200 worth of my time to get to the arraignment phase. And it costs $700 of my time to get to the plea bargain phase. And it costs, $3,000 of my time to get to trial. So let's say you do auto accidents. To send letters out to the insurance company and try to settle costs you $500 on average. But if you have to, prepare litigation and start going through that process, now it's up to $1,200. And if you have to go to trial, now it's up to $4,000. If you know your cost accounting and you know your metrics, you can look at your process and see how much you have to charge people to be profitable and when and where to go with certain cases. Okay, it's going to cost me this much to continue this case to this level. Should I do it? Is it worth it? Or should I just let it go at this stage? Should I tell the client, etc.? In my marketing, I'm looking for let's say, domestic violence cases, but I see it's very expensive for me to work on them because there's so much paperwork involved, or there's so many court visits involved. Maybe I don't want to do those cases, or maybe I'm undercharging for them. But these kind of cases, child endangerment, they're great because they pay a lot of money and it costs me very little to handle them. So I'll work on those more. But that's what cost accounting will do for you. So if you have all this in place for every major procedure in your office, you're going to have a pretty automated law firm, and you'll be able to take vacations and not worry. You'll be able to focus on growing your business and having a strategy session with yourself. Let's say every Wednesday afternoon, you black out that part of your schedule from 1 to 5, and you only work on strategy of your law firm. Could you imagine if you did that every week, what would happen, how much you would grow and the things you would learn? It would be incredible. I do that with Speakeasy, and we're really growing by leaps and bounds, and I'm finding tremendous leverage and ideas and all kinds of great stuff by doing that. So this is what's involved in really running a business right, in my opinion. Systematizing the heck out of it, making it run smooth, and it just got so many positives to it. I can't even begin to tell you all of them. So I hope this helps. Don't be a chicken without a head. Automate and systematize your law practice. You'll have a much better life. More time with your family, better cases, more cases. It's a virtuous cycle. If you need help implementing this in your law practice, contact SpeakeasyMarketingInc.com or email me, rj@SpeakeasyMarketingInc.com, or call 888-225-8594. Thank you. Take care.